So why you, trained as cardiologist in the materialist paradigm, got involved in the first place?
Yeah. Well, I was, as a young doctor, a materialist cardiologist. And when I started to work in a coronary care unit in 1969 as a young rotating intern, I was working in one of the first coronary care units in the Netherlands. Before 1967, all patients died of cardiac arrest. So modern CPR techniques like defibrillation and external chest compression became available in 68, 69. So we had a patient on the new coronary care unit, about 44 years old, I think, and he had a cardiac arrest because of a myocardial infarction. And we started to resuscitate him, and we had several shocks on him, and after about 4 minutes he regained consciousness. We were very happy as a resuscitating. It was all new. I was the doctor in charge. It was all new for us. But the patient came back, and the patient was extremely disappointed and told me about a tunnel and a light and music and beautiful landscape. I'll never forget. I've forgotten this event, but I never did anything with it. I was a young doctor starting my specialization at a young family, a family with young children. So only in 1986, I read a book by George Ritchie, Return from Tomorrow, where he describes his very deep near-death experience as a medical student in 1943. He died of a double pneumonia, and there were no antibiotics available for this medical student, so he died. And his body was covered with a sheet. And the nurse was so upset that this young medical student had died that he was able to persuade the doctor to give him an injection of adrenaline right into his heart, which was quite uncommon at the time. But after 9 minutes of death, he came back. Had a problem to find his body back because it was covered with a sheet, but he has his hand under the sheet where he saw his fraternity ring. He said, well, that must be me. Anyway, but he had a very impressive near-death experience. All the aspects we know now, he had also in dark regions as well. Out-of-body experience in a place hundreds of miles where this happened, and he later went there to see if it really was the place where he had been. He had been there as well during the period of death. So then I was so, and I had never heard about the death experience before. I had never read the book by Raymond Moody, Life After Life. It was published in 1975. But from reading that book, I started to ask patients when they had survived a cardiac arrest if they could remember something from the period of unconsciousness, from the period of cardiac arrest. And within 2 years, out of 50 patients who had survived cardiac arrest, 12 patients shared the NDE with me. And that was the moment that my scientific curiosity started to grow, because I had learned on university, as we all learned still in school and university, that consciousness is a product of brain function. And we know in cardiac arrest, when you're deep unconscious, there are no body reflexes, no brainstem reflexes, no breathing, and I'll come to it later, then it should be impossible to have memories of an enhanced consciousness, with memories, with emotions, with cognition, with a possibility of perception out and above the body. It should be impossible. There had been just retrospective studies, and people thought it was side effect of drugs, hallucinations, side effect of neurotransmitters, dreams, trying to be interested, etc. So there were not real scientific explanations at all. And that's why we started a prospective study in Holland on survivors of cardiac arrest.